ọ̀rẹ́ mi káàárọ̀, gbogbo ilé ńkọ́? Ṣé wà dáadáa? Buenos días, mi amigo. ¿Cómo está todo? Espero que todo esté bien. Good morning, friend. How is everything? Hope everything is going well. Blessings to all, and welcome back to the Immigrant Whisperer podcast. My name is Dr. Janet Awokoya. Today we're delving deeper into the complex world of critical race theory and its implications for Black immigrant students in U.S. classrooms. We'll explore how CRT provides a framework for understanding systemic racism and its impact on the educational experiences of marginalized groups. Join us as we unpack the key tenets of CRT, discuss its historical context, and examine its relevance to contemporary issues. To provide a more comprehensive understanding, we'll also touch on other theories such as cultural ecological theory and culture-centered theory. These theories, while distinct from CRT, offer valuable insights into the experiences of Black immigrant students. Get ready to challenge your perspectives and gain a deeper understanding of the social and political forces shaping our world. For those of you who are following along, I will be reading beginning from page 52 of the article. Let's begin. Perpetuated by institutions, it seems like a more anonymous, less concretely tangible point of reference for wrongdoing. As a result of this sense of institutional racism as abstract, it receives less attention in mainstream U.S. society. With this in mind, CRT provides a theoretical framework through which individually and institutionally motivated racist acts that have in the past impacted and continue in the present to impact the lives of people of color, can be highlighted, critiqued, and corrected. The beginnings of CRT can be traced to the political action taken by law students to put forward their challenges of legal frameworks and interpretations of the law due to the utter lack of attention to race and racism in those traditional frameworks and interpretations. Crenshaw et al., 1995. Delgado and Stefanchik, 2001. These students contested the assumption that laws are colorblind, argued that the Constitution is not objective, and debunked as myth the notion that with hard work alone, regardless of race, can and will necessarily succeed in U.S. society. Instead, these law students promoted recognition of existing asymmetrical race consciousness in law and policy. For example, deliberately race-based criminal laws that negatively target only people of color in drug-related offenses on the one hand, and so-called race-neutral civil laws that give unfair and unacknowledged advantage to whites in employment, hiring, and educational admissions on the other hand. Subsequently, they called for this consciousness to become unilaterally transparent and thus equitable across all areas of societal governance. Though CRT was, at its inception, a legal construct and instrument, its broad applicability to other areas of human interaction has led to its infusion into other academic disciplines and professional arenas. Educational theorists and practitioners, for instance, have employed CRT as a lens to investigate and critique curriculum development, teaching methodologies, school climate, and PK through 12, as well as higher education policies that impact the educational experiences of minority youth. Tate, 1993, Ladson Billings and Tate, 1995, Lynn, 1999, Tyson, 2003. Likewise, sociologists have employed CRT as a lens to critique, quote, traditional, end quote, sociological thought based on largely Eurocentrically biased investigations of people of color. Yasso, 2002. The main goal of CRT is to facilitate scholars and activists, and hybrid combinations of both, in developing and implementing ontological, epistemological, and axiomatic constructs through which to impact social, political, economic, and cultural life from a race-based, counter-hegemonic location. Though though CET recognizes the intersecting and colliding influences of other social identities, such as class and gender, it argues that race should primarily be viewed as an overarching analytic tool to interrogate and critique social inequities. Ladson Billings and Tate, 1995. Towards this end, CRT employs four primary tenets. First, it rejects claims towards neutrality, objectivity, color blindness, and meritocracy, arguing that these notions systematically devalue blackness and brownness by privileging and normalizing whiteness. Second, it asserts that racism is an embedded and institutionalized facet of U.S. society and thus is found at the core of its political, economic, and social structures. Third, it argues that liberalism has been and always will be, at best, a band aid type of approach to remedy civil rights oriented injustices. An oft cited example of this is a retrospective view of the Brown decision, that it has done little to end the educational inequities between blacks and whites, and may have made them worse. Bell, 1993, Freeman, 1995. Fourth, it uses autobiography and autobiographical narrative by and or about people of color to discuss larger societal issues. In so doing, it contends that the experiences of people of color are absolutely evidentially valid on their face and should not be discounted in favor of so-called, quote, empirical data, end quote, that often has the effect of literally whitewashing history. A classic example of CRT and use of autobiographical narrative is found in Bell's Faces at the Bottom of the Well, 1993, in which Black Americans' experiences with scapegoating, interracial relationships, and the search for a homeland are used as the basis for exploring and analyzing racism in U.S. policy and law. Benefits. Cultural ecological theory, CET, culture centered theory, CCT, and critical race theory, CRT, each offer important points of insight for understanding the sociocultural and educational experiences of Black immigrants. Following is an exploration and analysis of those points. Benefits of CET. By capturing the experiences of immigrant groups in two broad categories, voluntary and involuntary, Cultural ecological theory, CET, creates a strong point of entry from which to view the academic achievement and social adaptation patterns of minority youth, particularly Black immigrant youth. According to CET, Black immigrants as a whole have an array of strategic, cognitive, and behavioral options for adjusting to and succeeding in the American education system. For example, researchers who have used CET to explore the social and academic experiences of Black immigrants and other immigrants of color often point to their use of a, quote, dual frame of reference, end quote, a concept described in a broad range of literature on immigrants, both majority and minority, to the United States as well as to other countries. Dual frame of reference is a cognitive process that allows, in this case, Black immigrant students to view the social and academic barriers they face in the United States through the lens of their experiences in their home countries. As a result, these students often conclude that though they may find challenges in the US, when they compare these challenges to those in their home countries, they are better off in the United States, and thus they adjust accordingly. Foster, 2004, Gibson, 1991, Valenzuela, 1999. Similarly, Gibson's work on Punjabi Sikh immigrants has been extended by CET researchers on Black immigrants to illustrate that while many Black immigrants strongly maintain their native culture and values within their homes and in co ethnic relationships in the United States, they simultaneously master and acclimate to the expected social norms of the dominant culture outside of these contexts, including in schools. Foster, 2004, Gibson, 1988, Valenzuela, 1999. CET is also useful in furthering understanding of Black immigrant youth's adaptation patterns to Black American culture, and in this instance, what might arguably be defined as, quote, true, end quote, Black American culture. Viewed through the lens of one anthropological concept, quote, fictive kinship, end quote. CET focused anthropologists to describe, quote, kinship like relationship between persons not related by blood or marriage in a society, but who have some reciprocal social or economic relationship, end quote. Fordham and Ogbu, 1986, page 183. CET focused anthropologists argue that fictive kinship's existence in the Black American community is an historically wow, I'm enjoying reading this piece again after so many years, and I hope you all are enjoying it as well. So we will stop for now and we'll pick it up on page 53 in the next episode. All right, thanks for listening. Talk with you soon. Peace.